Hi guys, I'm Chris. Thanks for stopping by. So today's build was inspired by a Christmas gift that I had built for my brother-in-law, and I kind of fits with the theme of the New Year's. So I didn't film it because I was building. I was up like till Christmas Eve midnight trying to finish gifts to build. But I built one. I built this out of pallet wood, pallet oak. I think this one's cherry, but it's all pretty much oak, except maybe this band. But so the funny part is when I brought it over to him Christmas Day, I came up with the idea to build one. Actually, I ended up building two out of 2x4s. So I said I needed to take it, and he just said, all right, just don't F it up. So let's I'm gonna stop chatting and we'll get into the build. Oh, sorry, real quick. Each one is one 2x4. So I did a rustic one, and then I did one that's painted with a little bit of twist. But all right, now let's get into it. So what you're gonna want is 4 pieces at 16 1/4. What you do is you want to take the edges off so we can square these up. So it should be about roughly 3 1/4 wide. Then you're going to do is rip saw these in half, and that should give you about roughly 11/16 on each side, just shy of 3/4. So after you cut your 4 pieces, you're going to have roughly 30 inches left over. What you're going to want to do is rip 3 pieces out at 1/8 inch, because you're going to want to soak these. So these are going to be your edge banding. So you just once you soak them, it'll be easier to bend your radius for your top of your shelf. But just get these soaking and save this because we're going to need them for other pieces. So we should have 8 pieces now. 5 for the back, 3 for the shelf, and we'll glue it up. So while you're waiting for your glue to dry, you're going to make this jig. It's for your clamping of your edge banding. I did 9 holes, and they're about it's 1 3/8 hole saw. Just 1/2 inch OSB. Use plywood. Basically, all you're going to do is I just took a piece of scrap, drilled a hole, measured up 8 inches, drilled another hole, drilled a hole in your plywood. Took a nail, stick it in one of the holes here in your plywood. Take your pencil and then just go ahead and trace that. So that gives you your circle. So basically you'll have a 16 inch diameter. You'll end up cutting this in half, and then that's how you get your pieces for your jig. So take your piece. This is going to be for the rustic one. So basically just sand your glue out, both sides, but don't get too crazy because we're going to be stressing this. This is one we're going to try to make it look like hardwood. Okay, next find your center. Square this up because you need this line to because we're going to measure out from that line down where we're going to draw our line for our shelf. About 2 inches to the top of my shelf. That's the top of our shelf. So now you want to come about, so this is going to be the top of your shelf. Come down like halfway between the width of your shelf. And and then drill some screws. I'm gonna go probably 2 per each board. Just gives it extra holding power. We're still gonna glue it, but also drilling these holes so once you start distressing your other side, then you'll have a reference to where you're gonna put your shelf on the front. So we'll do. We'll just drill our holes and then we'll start distressing. So this is called Wood Effects by Minwax. Not a sponsor. Creates it's a charcoal look. You don't have to wipe this down. You just get it on and then just leave it. Alright, so we'll let this sit for about an hour, see if it's dry, then we'll go to the next step on it. Alright, so let's get our strips that we were soaking. Let's get them on our jig. So apparently I forgot to film tracing this out, but basically I just took my jig, traced it out, then just cut it. So now we have a mark where our shelf's gonna go. What I'm gonna do is I'll be notching this out. So this kind of, it sets down. Or I should have done this before I started distressing. I needed to do all this before so I could distress this at the same time. But now I want to make my little cleats that hold, that go onto the shelf and hold the banding. And then I'll notch it. So let me show you how I do that. So my cleats are going to be, they're 1.5 inches wide, 4.5 long. So we'll mark that. Square this over. And they're going to be 3/4 inch thick, so I can get 3 out of this, and then I'll do another one, another set. I'm going to be using hand saws. You can use a jigsaw. So basically I'm just gonna cut a notch out with the thickness of this. voila. So next we gotta figure out where we're gonna put our cleats. So this one's gonna go in the center, and I'll put one close to the ends, and then we'll just put one in the middle of each one. Should have something like that now. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut these out. I'm gonna use my little hand saws. Alright, so this is what it looks like. It fits. And so now we'll just distress this a little bit, not to go too crazy, but just distress it a little bit to have that look. And we'll distress our little cleats. Then we'll do the same chalk. Almost forgot, need to put sand some chamfers on both ends of these cleats. So you should have plenty left over of your 2x4. So I'm just going to cut 14 inches. This is going to be for our little shelf on the bottom. It's going to be about 10, but we're going to cut our arch, and then we'll need like a thin band to go around that. So 14 should be safe. So we'll cut it at 14, and then for our shelf, we're gonna you're gonna rip it down 1/2 inch, and then we'll cut a little, maybe 1/8 for your little edge band to wrap that. Here's your 1/2 inch piece for your shelf. Here's your little band. Let's cut off the thicker piece, about 7/8 wide. 1/8 inch, roughly thick, maybe a little less than 1/8. So this is the fun part, quotes. So we're gonna do a 10-inch shelf. So measure 10 inch. Come to your center, then come up about 2.5, and this is gonna create our arch. So I'm going to use a little help from my clamps to do that. Or if you have someone with you that you can make your bend, then they can just draw it for you, which would be a lot simpler. So I'm going to fumble around with these. So I'm just going to I'm going to charcoal the band. I'm not going to really distress this. You're not going to see the little shell. I'll probably charcoal it and sand it a little bit, and then stain it after. So we're going to make our French cleat out of this piece. We're only going to really need like about 12 inches. So if we're going to try to get it in the center, so you have equal on each side. So we'll just cut a 45 for a French cleat. So it's time to do our edge banding. This is where I'm going to give my shout out to Daniel with Bearded Viking Woodworks for his famous catchphrase, add a dab of glue. So Daniel, we're going to add a dab of glue. So now we're going to sand down the char, and we'll leave the char in the grain that we made. Okay, we're going to glue it. Let's screw it from underneath. I'm going to clamp it down. put the cleats on, and then we'll stain it. Let that dry, and then we'll put our bands on. Okay, now to put my cleats on, I'm gonna glue it, then I'm gonna pin nail it to set it. We're gonna pre-drill it. Then I'm gonna use a 3/8 Forstner bit for a countersink, and I'll use a 3/8 dowel for a plug. So apparently I didn't catch getting the stain on and putting this little shelf on. I'm going to put this little edge banding on the little shelf. So here it is. Not too bad. I know it's 2x4, but it kind of looked pretty rustic. I don't know, what do y'all think? So let me show you the other one I made. Here's the painted one. Kind of cool. Little candle holders. So, I mean, you do any color you want. Like, so we got like a black and silver, or black and gray actually, theme that's going on in our house when I start to get remodeling. But I don't know, it turned out pretty cool. All right, let me get these on. I'm gonna get these on the wall and show you. So there's the 2x4. Pretty neat. Not too bad. I think it looks pretty good for a 2x4. There's the pallet wood. Chuck's inner circle. And there's the painted one. With the candles lit. So I don't know. What y'all think? Let me know. Y'all have a happy new year. See you on the next one.